It's the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions. Next on Madden NFL 23.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
Here's the kicker, Jason Myers, to get this one started. And we are underway from Ford Field. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the first overall selection of the 2016 draft. From Cal, it's Jared Goff.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Right to the air, here is Goff. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game, watching him try to take away that area of the field.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now a handoff up the middle. Gibbs. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Goff on first down. His throw incomplete.
I don't see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Goff. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down. Now Goff. Man open, it's St. Brown. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Jonah Jackson, former third-round pick, the guilty party. So following the holding call, what can they do here on third and long? Up the middle they go. It's Gibbs, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up fourth.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Jack Fox out to punt here on fourth down. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
A man who played collegiately over at East Lansing, here's Ken Walker. And able to elude one tackler, but only gets this back to the line of scrimmage.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Smith. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Geno now to throw. This one goes underneath to Walker. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. Their opening drive here is going to result in a punt. They got 7 yards there, but not enough. Well, able to get the completion, but unfortunately not able to get the 3rd down conversion there on that play.
And I like how the defense approached that one. They knew where the first down marker was, and they decide whatever you want to have, you can. You're just not going to get the first down. Excellent tackling right there.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, Khalif Raymond. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Darrell Taylor got in there to drop him.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed him. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Goff. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Goff now to throw. And he wants Reynolds way downfield. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Every offense tells you they want to come out and start fast. That's not unusual at all. But this group, they've yet to get much rolling through their first 2 drives. It looks like they're going to have to give up the football again after this one.
Here's Jack Fox now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Fielded just inside the 30. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in-vogue plays, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Now on 2nd and 13, Smith. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Back to throw, Smith. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
A good scheme and an early win for this pass rush. They got back there before he could work through his entire progression and ended that play early.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
And Detroit getting set to go now.
And, partner, I know so far, we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard? I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coaches always talk about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
On 2nd and 9, Goff. And his throw is incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now it's Goff. will be incomplete.
Well, based on what we've seen so far, I don't think you can even call this an off day anymore, partner, because this group we're watching, they are totally out of rhythm trying to get their game plan up and running. That 0 on the scoreboard is glaring down at them with every incompletion.
On 4th down, Jack Fox on to punt for Detroit. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Here's Walker to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards the pickup there. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3, this is where the ball goes anymore.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And Walker once more, running right through him. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Smith. Touchdown, Seahawks. Noah Fant, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it's Noah Fant who caps things off with the touchdown.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
Well, they come out and take a look at him. We will step aside for just a moment.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way? Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Goff now looking to throw. Throw left side complete. That's right.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. And a quick throw here. That's complete.
And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On 2nd and 9, Goff to the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. To throw is Goff. And that is incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Jack Fox on to punt.
Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. To throw is Smith. This is the tight end fan. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Out of the gun, Walker with it. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Smith on 3rd down. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
Let's go do this thing, baby. Let's go.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Straight ahead, Walker runs over him. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Walker. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I'll bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down." They love being physical.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Throwing is Smith. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 36. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Now to the ground. Here's Walker. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going? Crashed down inside and tackled him for a loss.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Now Geno. And Walker has it. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first-half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc., but this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. Detroit's offense ready to take over. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Goff. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Thus far, they haven't been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off play action. Here's Goff. Looking downfield for Jones. It got his man complete. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. When you think of guys that are built to be big-arm quarterbacks, Jared Goff, he fits that mold, and he showed it off right there.
And to be honest, this first half hasn't been anything they'd be really proud about. So they needed something like this to change their fortunes. Now they need to make sure they finish this one off, not just with points, but with a touchdown.
And that wound up traveling at even 58 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Gibbs. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Goff. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
The offense on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now Goff. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. Badgley's kick is good, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
DJ Dallas to return it from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
A give for Walker running right.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
And that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Oh, partner, when you see a screen pass and the defensive tackle ends up making the play, you know that one wasn't sold well at all, because he should be upfield by the time you throw the pass. If not, you end up with big trouble, as we just saw right there.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Goff on 1st down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Darrell Taylor.
That is now 2 sacks for him here in this 1st half.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Gibbs. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Gibbs. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
On 1st and 10, Goff. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. That'll go for a...
Pete Carroll none too pleased with that last call. He's going to throw out the challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Three yards remain for 2nd down.
Now Goff. And Jones has it over the middle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle is going to be made at the Seahawks 36. 3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw, Goff. He'll find Jones again, complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Goff. Caught on the right side by Jones.
And the Lions are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Goff. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
And the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback And they'll take over at the 20-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
After the interception, here's Smith. This will be incomplete. Oh, a dream chance for a D lineman, but he couldn't pull that one in.
They almost gave it right back to him there with another interception of their own. And to be honest, he probably should have caught that and picked it off.
And he knows it, and he'll see it in film, and he'll see it in his dreams tonight when it's all said and done. But you almost felt like the excitement had been ramped up, and they were trying to get a big play right after that one.
And Smith's throw into the hands of Lockett.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Smith.
He's going to get this complete here to Lockett.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Another 1st down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shout him across all that ground.
Let's go! Let's go!
Now Gino on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late, CD, and that's going to get a flag every time.
Every single time. Because let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they're passing the football.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
They'll give it up to the big man Walker. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
53 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Walker is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. The defense is saying, okay, now that's more like it.
Yeah, we hear from coaches all the time how they preach a next play mentality. Doesn't matter whether the previous one was good or bad. You move on to the next one. But we just saw evidence of that happening right there.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. They run again with Walker. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet. Now Smith. And he wisely will throw that one away. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Myers' kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away.
No run back here for Raymond. This will be a touchback. Detroit's offense ready to take over. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Goff. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Pay attention. Pay attention. You know what we mean, baby.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Goff now looks to throw. This pass complete to Reynolds.
And he is going to have a Lions first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Now a play fake, and it's Goff.
And he wants Reynolds way downfield.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Goff. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
So now following the sack, Goff and the Lions needing to come up with something here on 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, it's Gibbs. And some space here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
60 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Well, you know what they say about the best laid plans, partner. I mean, this one was totally foiled. They played for the pass. The idea was if you want to run it, that's fine. We'll rally up and make the tackle. Except they didn't get it done.
Yeah, 3rd and long and a big run there. How about that? On 1st down, it's Goff.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Goff now to throw. Being chased out left.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. A shotgun snap for Goff. Man open. It's St. Brown. He's got it.
Oh, he's going to be brought down there in the field of play. And the clock will run. No timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Seahawks in that first half. And even though they've got the big cushion, I would imagine they'd like to see a little more out of their passing game. Pretty pedestrian numbers through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
Dallas now to return it from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Seahawk offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. Third quarter begins with a run by Walker.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Smith. And he's got his man on the out route.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Smith on third down. And Walker has it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8.
And that's a gutsy call there on third and short because that's a play that's got a good chance of being blown up in the backfield for a big loss of yardage. But nice job out wide to gather in that screen pass, use his blockers well, and pick up the first down.
Play action. It's Smith. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now Geno. And this will be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing again is Smith.
Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Smith now to throw.
Repeat of the last play, finding Walker.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
To the right side, this is Walker. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Back to Walker on first down.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12.
They're going right back to Walker.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Smith. He's got his tight end Fant. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 23. Give him 18 on the play.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Don't wait for nobody else to make it. You got to put. Baby. Let's ride, dog. Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing.
Smith on first down. Dancing to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Eluding and a big loss here as he's taken down.
Lee McNeil, what an effort to get in there and drop him.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. Second and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Geno now to throw. Under pressure, they got him again.
Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson. A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10.
At their own 15. Goff. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Goff. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Goff. He finds his man, complete. That's Gibbs. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. It'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10.
Well, the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Now left side on the swing pass.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Smith throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Smith. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another 1st down there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw, Smith. He hits his target, Lockett. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Walker now on 1st and 10.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
68 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
4 yards remain on 2nd down. Ball on the 10. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Throw out wide to Walker.
So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 4th down, Smith. And he's got it. Touchdown. Noah Fant, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Seahawks' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So out now come the Lions. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Goff and this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Goff now looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Gibbs, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the 1st down.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Goff. He sets to fire deep. And this one is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So 2nd and 10 now here in the 3rd quarter from Detroit. Here's Goff. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Goff. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
That's what it is. That's what it is, baby.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks.
And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On 1st and 10, Smith. It's caught. Lockett. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Balled it to 26, 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 1st down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Smith. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Running right, here's Walker. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A couple extra tight ends in the formation here as they line up 3rd and 2. They'll try for the first with Walker. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the 1st down, close it out.
The Lions offense set to take over. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Goff in this Lions offense set for a 1st and 10 at about the 32. Now it's Goff. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw again on 2nd down, Goff. He finds his man, complete. That's Gibbs. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
On first down, Goff. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters, and this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. To the air again, Goff. This complete to Jones.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33. Now, 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Goff now looks to throw. And that'll be caught by St. Brown.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5.
Goff throwing again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 15-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Goff. The left side completion to Jones.
And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line.
Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Goff. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Badgley able to punch this one through, and that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Dallas now to return it from his end zone.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll run with Walker to begin the drive.
And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down.
Aleem McNeil able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now Geno. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Now here's Michael Dixon, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Lions will take over.
And Detroit back in possession of the football. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Here's Goff. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gibbs. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out, and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Goff. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Goff now to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Gibbs. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
He's had success running the football, and this is more or less an extension of that because they drop it off to him on the screen. And I'll bet he's thinking to himself, if I didn't have to slow up a bit here in traffic, I could have really made something out of that one.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Goff. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Marvin Jones, 32 yards.
And the Lions have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded just outside the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Throwing now is Geno. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call. And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore. Here's Smith. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Second down and 8. Now Smith. This complete to Lockett. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down. Smith. He completes this to Walker. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's second down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. And we do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Looking to throw again on second down. Smith. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. A couple of first downs have them to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Again, Smith. Returning right back. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum the other side is starting to gain.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. On 3rd down, here's Walker. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Walker with another carry. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. Kirby Joseph there to drop him.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Smith. And that is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this will remain a 1-touchdown game. But things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Goff. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Clock running here, under 90 seconds to go. Now it's Goff. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up
They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
Now, oh no, he lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yep, the opportunity squashed. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Now a timeout called for by the defense as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down.
The Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And Detroit getting set to go now.
Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football is certainly paramount right now. Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board.
Now Goff. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Goff now to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.